I'm not wearing matching socks, so I don't know. Oh, yeah, sure. Alright, so y'all just got done reading chapter 7 of Great Gatsby. So who wants to give a little bit of like some significant things that happened in this chapter? Alright.
Daisy was
the one that hit her.
Daisy's the one that killed her, basically.
Gatsby tried to break it off. Didn't you yesterday? No.
What Gatsby tried to do?
Break off the relationship with Tom and Daisy.
Right. So yeah, this is like the first obvious thing where Gatsby just in front of Tom and everything shows that he loves Daisy, and Daisy reciprocates pretty much.
Tom finds out that
You know,
he finds out.
Yeah, Tom is exposed to infidelity basically between Gatsby and Daisy. Yeah. But he doesn't know that it's Tom, right.
Yeah, he locked her in.
Did any of y'all find it kind of interesting that Tom gets so mad about Daisy being not faithful, but he's in the clear kind of? Driving home.
Daisy hit her, but Gatsby was right there.
Gatsby tried to get her to stop too, but
So why do y'all think Tom thinks that he's okay with himself not being faithful with Daisy as a
I think it's because he's the guy, and he's just, I don't know.
relates to his
He's
character?
already racist, so I don't know.
I mean that's how I think a lot of people read it. He's seen as racist and all. He's seen as sexist too. So where in the book does in this chapter, like the main like squirrel or whatever you want to call it, or coral, yeah, not squirrel. Yeah, we're in the hotel and Tom is like telling Daisy about everything the truth about Gatsby. What's that kind of do? Like, what's he kind of saying? Yeah.
Basically, he got his money illegally.
Yeah, like reveals the truth about who Gatsby really is, kind of about,
Well, he tried.
or try, yeah. With the stuff with Oxford and stuff like that too. So then it kind of brings us, that little, that spot in the book kind of brings us to like the part where, Gatsby's wanting Daisy to tell, Tom like she never loved him and whatnot. So, what was the significant, like what, I mean, I'm not saying just what happened there, but kind of like, just say in your own words, like what was going on in that spot, I guess somebody.
They were trying to pick a fight.
Gatsby wanted to, like, Gatsby basically just wanted Daisy to, like, erase the last, like, 4 years of her and Tom's life together and just, like, forget about it and just, like, pretend like her and Gatsby had never broken up or anything.
Okay.
And just, like, stay together the whole time.
Right, yeah, so Gatsby kind of has Daisy, and she's saying that she loves him and kind of has Daisy back, but what's he kind of messes up, I guess you could say, in that.
He wants her to go through past.
Yeah, he can't really accept that, even if she's not in love with Tom anymore, he doesn't really want to say that Tom ever existed, right? So what's Gatsby kind of doing to himself there, y'all think, with these, yeah, set himself up for failure, basically. I mean, because his whole goal with all that, with the parties, with the house, with all that, is to do what, really? To get Daisy back. And then at the beginning of this chapter, and for a little while, it kind of seemed like he had her back, somewhat at least. I mean, it wasn't like a done deal. She didn't leave Tom yet, but he kind of had Daisy back, and that was his goal. But he goes too far, kind of, right?
Well, he jokes with the best thing before she's ready.
Yeah, because I mean, he's going pretty strong on this, but they're still like hanging out with her and her husband, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that when we were fine.
Yeah. This wasn't. I mean, I don't know the actual like days or weeks of this, but she's just saying that she loves him, and he's already wanting her to do it in public in front of her still husband and everything like that. So, where does, like, so Gatsby kind of sets himself up for failure with, like, these high demands. Can anyone, like, say a specific, like, line or quote in the book where that's just, like, where he's just asking for way, way too much?
Whenever he's waiting outside, up the window and whatnot, and then David and Tom are talking.
After the car crash?
Yeah.
That part? Yeah, or if you can find it, you can, say like a talk.
Well, he says, I told you what's been going on, it's been going on for 5 years and you didn't know. So like, that kind of like, I don't know, I feel like he wanted Tom to think like, oh, we've been like sneaking behind your back for 5 years. When like, he really was meant to like, Gatsby has still loved me for 5 years. But like, so that was kind of like wrong wording, because that just, and then Tom like comes directly back and says, you've been doing this, you've been seeing this fellow for 5 years.
Yeah.
So like, that was just a weird way to say it.
Yeah, cause well, cause y'all actually think that 3 years ago Daisy thought about Gatsby still? I don't think so. I mean, until she, after he first left and everything, she might have thought about it, but I don't think his last 5 years with Tom, Gatsby was,
I mean, she never thought about him until he was mentioned again in like the beginning of the book. And she
Yeah.
says about Gatsby.
yeah, exactly. One part that I thought was like a pretty good, one of the best examples of Gatsby going for too much is on page 132. I think that's where it's at.
Is there a different girl?
Oh, I don't know. Is this what else looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's the same thing. Let's see.
You never loved him, that's all wiped out forever.
What'd you say,
It's
sorry?
at the very top of the page, when you tell him now, you see his faces, and he's all wiped out forever. That's what Gatsby's like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's kind of, a lot of this part is just him speaking for Daisy a lot too. I mean, at the beginning of this, episode, like, we are convinced that Daisy and Gatsby do love each other, but then it kind of becomes that, what's Gatsby kind of doing with Daisy at this point? He's kind of just putting words in her mouth. Yeah, just kind of fitting her in what he wants. On top of 133, because Gatsby keeps insisting that Daisy say, I never loved Tom. And on top of 133, he goes, even alone, I can't say I never, she said, even alone, I can't say I never loved Tom. And that was probably a pretty big blow to Gatsby, but that's like him expecting her to actually never love Tom is pretty outlandish. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, whenever she is trying to say that she never loved Tom, and Tom keeps like bringing up like, I guess you could say good times they've had together. I mean, even though we don't like Tom and like, we know that he's not like faithful now and everything like that. If you like look at Unbiased, like he probably did have like those probably were times when they were both happy together, you think, or whatever, you know. But so what is it like? Leading up to this point right here in this chapter in the book as a whole, like what do we kind of see? Because up until this point, we know that Gatsby loves Daisy. That's what he wants really bad, and he's kind of like done a lot in his life just to get her. But this is the kind of part I feel like where his love for Daisy is kind of just like exposed in a different light. Where is it really just Daisy that he is in love with, or is it a little bit more something? You know what I'm saying? Like is it just Daisy that he wants back, and once he gets her, he'll be happy, or is it more that he wants Daisy just to fit into his life the perfect way, and she's kind puzzle for him.
We'll ask people
Yeah, yeah. So that being the case, what does Gatsby gonna, like, what's he realize basically at this point? Do you think he realizes that this isn't gonna happen, or do y'all think that he's still kinda,
Yeah, it says in somewhere over there, he talks in panic.
Yeah, it's, you don't understand, he said Gatsby was a public scanner.
where's that at?
Middle of 133.
Oh, okay. But yeah, well, he kinda is panicked because he think that,
Because he's losing her, he's losing the argument.
right, that this might not all work out like he was hoping it
Yeah.
would earlier. Like you talking about when he's hiding in the bushes, what do you think that shows?
That's
A
a little
little creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think that's like him showing that he's not giving up on her, or that
He's too fake, it says.
he's too faithful?
Too fake.
Right.
Or hope.
What about the him gonna take the blame for hitting
That's just dumb.
Myrtle?
Yeah.
That's just straight dumb.
So y'all think it's him going overboard when he should kinda let it go, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just,
I don't know. You try to
Like,
read it.
he learned all that time in the days back in his life, and then he's gonna take the blame for it, and then he's gonna go to jail, and never see it.
Well, do you think that's gonna go to jail? No.
He can
he'll
probably
probably
out.
vanish.
He could show that white card or whatever he has.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah, maybe that's not recorded.
what?
Maybe that's not recorded.
Yeah,
But
because
it-
he ran, like, most likely he would go to
Probably.
jail, but he's still saving Daisy, and she's not, like,
He's still laying on the line, but is she,
I don't really know.
I don't think she's really.
yeah.
Should probably just make it, you know, like, pretty good.
Yeah, if y'all were all a girl, what would you think about Gatsby? For those girls, remember, for the ones on girls, picture of you, girl. What would you think of if Gatsby was the guy going after you at this point? Obsessed? Yeah.
I'd just be the
Yeah.
word digger, honestly.
He's the realest in the class.
You'd go for Gatsby at this point just for the money and all?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
A gold digger.
I just said I was. I said I wouldn't.
You what? You would chase her? You would give up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go off.
No.
Can't you bring Gatsby's shoes?
But why can't he like realize that? Or what's his issue with what's his issue with not going after it at this point, like this far in the book?
He got the house, and he looked at her.
He's waiting for like
Spend
5
2 years
years.
of money to go back now.
Right.
Oh, he's stuck.
Like everything he's done up to this point in his life,
It's for things.
and the one thing that he's missing.
Maybe
His
he is a
days.
little crazy. Like, I came to this book thinking he was alright. He might be a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'm
might
not
be
like
a little-
Well, what is
like
I mean
a pretty expensive
I
house
feel
just to
like
be
that's
across the
really
lake
selfish.
some days.
to
To like
Yeah,
buy a
two
house.
people like-
That green light line.
No.
He could be happy to see Daisy. I just feel like he's really selfish.
Why would
Yeah.
he buy a house so
well, as a reader, you kind of get the sense that as a reader, you kind of get the sense that Gatsby is somewhat crazy in this chapter. But what does but is this one of the first points where what does Nick do kind of towards the end whenever he yeah and
All
then
of this happens on his birthday too.
and he doesn't even say anything about it, does he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was
He's
like,
like, I forgot it's my
I was like,
birthday.
oh yeah, I just turned 30.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool, guys.
But at the end, whenever he finds Gatsby in the bushes, like spying kind of or whatever, what's Nick kind of like reaction like, or what's he kind of think to himself?
He's thinking that he's gonna find wolf times, men, women, and whatnot.
Yeah, rob the
Or
place.
robbery.
He's gonna rob the place, yeah. No reason to, yeah. But so it's kind of where Gatsby is, whether he realizes it or not, faced with when the time's up. I mean, I'm not just gonna right here. See ya. But he has to be kind of faced with what, basically, whether he realizes it or not, what he, as a reader, we realize that he's like kind of needs to come to terms with in this like English chapter.
He's falling off.
He's falling off his feet. It's done, or he's gone overboard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all. I was just gonna do discussion, starts the discussion. That's it. Thanks for talking to us.